had the 458 in for service, and they discovered that the front driver's side shock is leaking, and they're a magnetic ride shock, so it's just going to progressively get worse. So of course I asked them, you know, what's that going to cost me? Got a quote for $8,700. That's when I told them, forget it, I'll do it myself. So I went online and looked at Scuderia parts, and man, they're looking like $1,700-ish just for the shock, let alone, you know, labor to put it on. So I called one of my friends who's completely disassembled his 360 and reassembled it again, and he's like, dude, it's like 2 bolts, it's gonna be no problem. So I went online, I found a used front shock with spring and everything for $680. So we're gonna go over to Walter's house and get this shock installed and do it for a fraction that I was quoted. So we'll see how this goes. I couldn't find anywhere on like YouTube where other people have like videoed a full like replacement of the shock, do a suspension, stuff like that. So we'll go ahead and record this and put it out there. Maybe it might help some other Ferrari owner who doesn't want to pay the huge amount to fix a shock. It's kind of ridiculous. Anyway.
Got it. Which side is that side?
That's driver's side.
Unless this is hard to take out, it's like boom, boom.
That here. That out. Here. And here.
There they go. So we'll just kind of pop it
Pulls
off.
out and pops off. Oh, there you go. Easy enough.
So we'll just put.
Leave that with it.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Isn't having the steering attached going to keep us from that moving out, or? Oh no, looks like you almost got it, huh?
So this right here is the alignment adjuster right here. See that?
The spacer, yeah.
Yeah. So we keep those on there
Yeah.
because that keeps your camber on your alignment. That's how they align your wheels. So they'll be just keep those the same. So if you don't mind, if you can kind of pull up on this thing a little bit, pull it this way, and then I'll just kind of pry it carefully. It should pull out, but it should pry out. There it goes. I just don't want this to mess up this thing right here.
This one on this end here.
There we go. Okay.
There we go. One buddy out.
Okay, so the angle of this, it looks like it matches both ways. But just for fun, we're going to do it exactly the way that this one is, which is the numbers in the back.
Okay.
See how that says W in front? I'm not sure if that changes it, but if there's an angle problem or something, let's just make sure.
Okay. Got the numbers right
Here
here.
we go, so we go like this.
Fish it up in there.
so that's there.
Okay.
So all we have to do is put the suspension back, and we're ready to go.
Need my help on that?
Yeah. So if you can lift this up, good.
Well, we need this guy out of the way. He goes what?
Yeah.
Yep. That's it.
Okay. See, that's about 100 pounds.
Yeah.
And that's plenty for that.
You're right, though. It freaks everybody out. They're like, oh, it's a Ferrari. You can't work on it.
Yeah.
It's just like any other car.
Just like everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the control arms on this,
Yeah.
these look like BMW control arms.
Really?
The only difference is they go straight. BMW has, sometimes, depending on what year, they'll go back some.
Yeah.
They'll have one that goes back, but this one's one of the most basic suspensions you'll ever find.
Just a really expensive shock.
Yeah, really expensive. That's funny though, they want all that money for that.
Yeah.
I mean, how much do they charge you an hour? Because they tell you their shop rate is like $125 an hour. They told me that.
It's more than that.
I brought my car in there.
If it was $125 an hour, it would have been a lot cheaper.
Well, that's what. Yeah, but what they do is they say that's what it is.
Yeah.
But then they charge you like way more than it takes.
Yeah.
Like last time.
They go by the book. Like there's the book says it's gonna take, 3 hours.
The book is for guys that don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
There's never done, like not even guys that've never done it before. Cause
Yeah.
we haven't done it.
But still, I mean, the part was only $1,700 from Scuderia Parts, so at $8,700, that was going to charge me $7,000 of labor.
Yeah.
I mean, how many hours is that up to?
I mean, how much are you going to charge an hour to do that?
Right. Because we just did this in 45 minutes?
Yeah, you don't have to do an alignment when you do this because everything's already set. All your alignment's already set. You're not changing any of your adjustments. So you're just torquing your suspension back.
Come down.
Yep, that's it right there. Okay, that's good.
Okay.
I think that one's started too. Okay.
Nice.
Looks like we're good. Just put the wheels on and we're ready to go. These are nice brakes. I bet they're not cheap to replace.
Don't know, haven't tried yet.
So on the Porsche, they're 30 grand. That's what Porsche told me.
Really?
Like ceramic ones, yeah.
Yeah.
So they were like, you ought to replace them and just put metal ones on there. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Just because they're so expensive.
Yeah, so I bought a car with ceramic brakes, but I have to put metal brakes on because they're too expensive to fix.
Yeah.
So I'll just fix them when it's time. Okay, I think that's it. So go ahead and see if that lines up.
So Porsche was selling you $30,000 for the ceramic.
Yeah, and you can buy, it's funny because when you buy it new, the cars are, I think they charge you like 9 or 10 grand or something for the different brakes, but then it costs that much to replace them. So it's best just to find, like, you can find pads. A lot of times you want to replace, you can find discs, but they say, Ferrari will always say, just replace everything. They always say that.
Yeah.
But typically what you do is you measure your caliper, make sure you're good, or your rotor, make sure it's good, and then you got to make sure you replace your discs when they're getting low. Just your pads, you just got to always replace them. Just don't screw with them, and then you'll be okay.
I just don't use my brakes that much.
Just don't stop.
Just downshift all the time.
Yeah.
Literally, this thing's so torquey. I can downshift and go to first and actually roll to a stop without ever touching the brake.
That's cool.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. My 360 is not like that. The 360 doesn't have enough compression to do that.
Really?
So it winds really high, but it just doesn't. I mean, think about it. I mean, it's decent, but there's just not enough. This one has so much displacement and everything, and so those pistons work against it, and it's just really nice. Can't get that out of a little tiny engine like that. So what we'll do when we get it on the ground, we'll torque these. You don't want your wheel falling off.
Yeah.
That's not a good idea. Okay. We did it, dude.
Yeah,
Wasn't that bad.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
You literally saved me $7,000.
I know. Isn't that
Actually, more
nuts?
than that. So I got to buy that used.
But you think about it, these guys doing this every day.
Oh, they should be quick at it.
Oh, they
There's
are.
no way they should charge me that in labor.
Yeah.
$7 grand in labor.
And they know, like for instance, we were like trying to screw around with it a little bit before we loosen those bolts.
Yeah.
They just go right to it. They know exactly what sizes they pull out of 17 and 18 and 19. They have them sitting there and they go, they just start popping everything off.
Yeah.
It takes them half the time. This thing's awesome on the track.
Yeah.
This thing just.
That's what it's made for.
Yeah.
That is a classic. The 930 is classic.
And you know, here's the crazy part. I don't know, you guys have ridden with me. You've seen how fast that thing goes.
Yeah.
If we're going, let's say we're going 60 miles an hour, that 930 will still beat the GT3 RS.
Really?
Yeah. It'll beat all the 458s. Because I was racing against those guys at
Well,
that speed. You know, at that high speed.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's got these tall gears and it's got the turbo and
Once the turbos are loaded, spooled up.
yeah, and I put it's one turbo and I put a big one in it. So I put the turbo for the 93 Porsche, it's the K2700. And then I did pipes on this. I got rid of the muffler and all that crap. 'Cause
Yeah.
It just takes off, it makes it sound good.
Yeah.
And then it's electronic ignition and it's got, you know, no more points and all that stuff. So you basically take all that crap out and just kind of fix it, make it more reliable.
Nice.
But this thing will lift off the ground. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It feels like it's gonna fly.
Yeah. Dude, that saved me so much money. That was unbelievable. I stopped the camera at like, I think it was like 35 minutes total footage after we got the car up on the lift. It only took us 35 minutes before I shut the camera off after putting the car down and everything. So yeah, it's a 30-minute job if you haven't done it the first time. So thanks, Walter. That was awesome.